Hey everyone, welcome back. I got a very fun watch for you here. I've been waiting to do this one forever. This is the San Martin Diver. I believe it's called the Ghost. We'll get more into that, but stay tuned. All right, yeah, so here we have the San Martin. I believe this is called the Ghost. Part of my issue I'm going to pretty much vent here for a minute. I ordered this on AliExpress. It was sent back 3 times to the sender. I bought it from the official San Martin store on AliExpress. Communication was terrible. Obviously, there's a language barrier there, so I don't totally blame that. But getting this watch into my hands took almost 3 months. It was crazy back and forth. Finally, they sent it with DHL, which they told me from the beginning they couldn't do. So I would recommend if you're looking to buy one of these, try to find someone in the States or wherever you're located selling one. It's going to really reduce the hassle. Also, there's a lot of different variants of this watch. Right off the bat, you have the one that's in here, which has a San Martin logo on it, and then there's the same exact watch that doesn't have a logo on it. So there's right off the bat 2 of them. But then there's different sizes, different clasps. I believe it's called the Ghost. That's what my order said, that it was called the Ghost, but I have seen it referred to as other things in other places. But getting started here, this is the box it comes in. So San Martin on the side, San Martin on the top, which is their logo on the watch, and the top is it's a bezel, a dive bezel, which I think is really cool, and that's the case back on the bottom. So the packaging is awesome. Popping it open, as you can see, it's just a simple little screw case, which I think is also nice. There's the watch. First impressions, when I opened it up, I was like, wow, I've been wanting to get my hands on this forever, and this thing is absolutely killer. Pop the watch out for a second. We'll get more into that, but great little pad on the inside of it. It fits great. This is the case it comes in. Down on the bottom, this thing's really hard to take out, so I'll just tell you that there's your warranty card, the instruction manual, and then there is also 2 spring bar tools and the remover of the link tools. I'm not sure what its technical name is. But so packaging, super impressed with. Everything it comes with is awesome. Really top notch on that end. It was just a real pain in the butt to try to get to my door, which is kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But I think the watch recovers from that, and I think it's still amazing. We'll get more into that, but not by far the easiest watch to get from AliExpress that I've ever bought. All right, so jumping into the actual watch here, it's definitely a little hard to keep in focus and color, nice because of that face, but let's dive into that first. This face is this incredible light blue to almost black, dark blue. It's kind of like the deep sea, the James Cameron. I see that's what they're going for. I actually kind of think this is a little bit cooler. It has like kind of a mother of pearl texture to it, which is really, really nice. And that's what kind of drew me to this watch at first. I thought the face was stunning, and it lives up to it in person just as much as when it looks like online. Little details about the watch itself. It is 14 millimeters thick, and yes, I know I still have that crown sticker on there. They're a real pain in the butt to get off, so I saved that for last. The case diameter is 40.5 millimeters. The movement is the NH35A. It is, according to them, 316L stainless steel. The band width is 20 millimeters. It is 200 meter water resistant, and lug to lug, it is about 48 millimeters. And it's about 40.5 millimeters across. It says it is a 40.5 millimeter watch. I think it wears a little truer to 40, but it's probably more in comparison these days to the 41 millimeter new subs. Face is gorgeous, like I said. Basic black bezel, plain back, nothing back there. A beautiful kind of Rolex style oyster strap. It does have a very nice taper to it. I don't have the actual dimensions on that, but it tapers like a Rolex bracelet does. But it has an Omega style clasp. This is very similar to like what you would see on some of the Paganis and some of the Speedmasters. So San Martin, it's really nice, and it is a really solid click and a very solid release. So I'm very happy about that. It is, sorry, I'm just trying to do this all with one hand because I have a new camera and a new lighting setup, and I'm just trying to get used to it, so mind the hiccups here. But yeah, face very simple, very beautiful. There are some things I don't like about it. I'll get to that shortly, and it has to do with wearing it. So let's jump over to a wrist shot first. So here it is on the wrist. I do think it does wear quite nicely. Beautiful clasp. I do think it sits fairly well. Sorry, let me just kind of reposition this for you there. I think it wears slightly smaller, but there's these lugs down here around the end of the clasp are kind of sharp. Let me see if I can get you a little closer up on that, but like they're not really tapered at all. They're very sharp. You feel them kind of scrape against your wrist. I tried to compare it to another watch, and I really couldn't see what was different about them. My other watches, they don't necessarily look rolled, but for some reason these down along the clasp really kind of scratch your arm, and they feel sharp. I'm hoping that as I wear it for a bit, that will kind of work itself in. But I know people were complaining about that same thing with the new Speedmaster, so I wonder if, bracelet companies are just kind of not caring anymore and making them a little more 90-degreed than usual. But yeah, they're a little sharp, and that kind of bothers me. Here's the lume on this watch. It's your standard, hour, minute, second hand blip, your hour markers, and the 12 o'clock bezel position. But it is that very nice, it looks a little more blue here on the camera, but it's that Rolex kind of green-blue color. Really nice. It's very long-lasting. You can see here how bright it is. I really don't have the light sensitivity turned up too high, and it is a very noticeably bright lume. So I think you would be very happy with this watch if you're buying it to use for the lume, but it is the best lume I've seen at a sub $500, even sub $300 watch. The lume's incredible, and 10 out of 10, 5 stars, however you want to look at it. The lume is by far one of the strongest parts of this watch. So all in all here, my kind of overall feelings, end of review is I am happy with the watch. I do think it is a beautiful watch. There are a lot of things about it that live up to the exact hype that I've seen caused online, and the watch looks just as beautiful in person as I thought it would be. But, the bracelet sharpness kind of is a letdown for a watch that this was with taxes, shipping, all that kind of stuff. It was running about $300. So I would expect that bracelet to be a little nicer and a little more wearable right out of the box. But unfortunately it's not, and that's something I'll have to work with a bit. And the shipping was a big kind of snafu that really kind of left me with a bad taste in my mouth buying from the official store. If you could find it somewhere else, I would definitely recommend it. If you could find them cheaper, I would definitely recommend it, because I don't know if it's worth $300, but it is a gorgeous watch, and that face by far is one of the most beautiful watch faces I've seen at any price point. So I would say try to grab one if you can. I do think there is a version that has a Rolex style clasp that does have the glide lock in it. That was kind of what I was hoping I was getting, and the pictures did show that, but it didn't turn out to be that model. But there is one like that, so if you could get that one, I think it would really make this watch incredible, top notch, top dollar. But I would say it's a strong recommendation, but it's not perfect. And until next time, guys, I think this is a great watch. You should definitely look for one, and hopefully I'll have some more watches for you soon. They're just kind of hard for me to secure these days. But thank you for your continued support, and I'll see you guys next time.